Oh, YouTube, Deuce is Wild here. Just gonna do a little tutorial or voice my opinions on my Blade helicopter fleet here. I'm trying to get good lighting, but it doesn't look too good. This is the Blade SR. Hold on just 1 second here. I'm gonna turn the table around here so I can get a better light situation going on here. There we go. This is a good little helicopter, but it had its share of problems. After I first got it, the blade grip ball linkage here broke while in hover, so I replaced that with aluminum swash plate and blade grips, and it locked it in really tight. What a huge difference. It was basically hands-free hovering with very minimal gimbal input to hold its heading. Once I got that dialed in, then the next day rolls around and I went to go take it on a maiden flight, and then I lost yaw, and so it's had some issues, and right now it's down for maintenance. I'll kind of put it on the back burner because I've got other helicopters in my fleet I'd like to go over, so I'm basically just going to cover them all and give a little brief overview on them. So that's the Blade SR. Definitely, I think they should make this helicopter better. Next up is the Blade 120 SR. Well, this is a great little helicopter if you're learning how to fly and you want something durable and, you know, cheap to replace parts. Relatively cheap, I say. Probably the most expensive part on this whole helicopter is the 5-in-1 gyro board back here, which I've got one on order. I've literally flown this helicopter so much that I've worn the servos out to the point where it'll hover, but it doesn't have a whole lot of throw to it, so it doesn't fly like it used to. And I still got to get the matching tail fin to this canopy. I have the original canopy that has that coloration, but anyway, it's next week it'll be back working the way it should. I've got one on order, so awesome little helicopter. I would recommend it for anybody. It is fixed pitch with a fly bar. It's a really smooth, stable helicopter. When everything's working perfectly on it, it's a lot of fun indoor, outdoor. I wouldn't recommend flying it on a windy day. Nothing over 5-mile-an-hour wind, because then it gets really dicey. You know, I mean, it's doable, but it's just no fun when you're fighting the wind all the time, especially for forward flights and stuff. So, anywho, it's a wonderful little helicopter. Absolutely love it. Very durable. I've crashed this thing, I mean, really hard. I've nosed crashed it, just, you know, doing crazy stuff that this little helicopter really shouldn't be doing. Probably replaced the skids, probably like the 4th or 5th set of skids. I've cracked the canopy on it. I've replaced the blade grips, the swash plate. Broke the ball links on one of the ball links on the swash plate, so that's all been replaced. I've replaced the tail motor already once. That literally just wore out. The main motor's still going good, and all the gears and everything are still good. Wonderful little helicopter. Absolutely love it. Next up is the brand new Blade MCPX BL for brushless. Absolutely amazing little helicopter. Tons and tons of power. I'm still learning. I'm not a 3D pilot, so I know this thing is capable of more than what I'm able to do with it. I've kind of dummied it down on the settings to make it a little easier, and I just fly it in normal mode. Just, you know, quick little punch outs and stuff like that, but nothing too aggressive. But this thing, man, I can't wait till my skill level gets better and I'm able to fly this thing to its capacity. Just a really awesome fly barless, collective pitch. The tail just is solid, rock solid. Blade really got their stuff together on this helicopter and made it it's just awesome. I can't say enough good things about it. They do have issues, and basically this is my 3rd one. The first one I got maybe 2 or 3 flights into it, the board cooked. I mean, a little puff of smoke came out, and that was the end of that helicopter. Took it back to the hobby store. No questions asked. They replaced it with another one. I got the second one home. I got maybe into my third flight, and then the rear servo went out back here. Took it back the very next day, and they replaced it again. And this one here so far is so good. I haven't had any electronics issues with it so far. Hovers really nice. But I thought, well, I'll give it one more try. But now this thing is flying really good, so I'm hoping it stays that way. Really good helicopter, pretty durable, pretty forgiving in crashes to a certain extent. I mean, all helicopters, you don't want to crash them any more than you absolutely have to. And everybody's going to crash, you know, sooner or later. It's just bound to happen. I would recommend, if you're a beginner to intermediate pilot and you do want to buy this helicopter, dummy your settings down on your expos and your travel adjustments and everything until you get used to the power, because this thing is so agile and so fast. It'll get away from you so quick, and if you're not fast enough on your gimbal sticks to correct it, it will crash. So I recommend dumbing it down until you get the feel for it and get everything dialed in real smooth. And you know, this is not a helicopter for beginners, and if you're not used to flying a fixed pitch, or, you know, well, I take that back. If you're not used to flying a collective pitch helicopter, you might want to stick with fixed pitch for a while. I've got to the point where I can fly these pretty decent, but again, this is my first, or actually my second collective pitch helicopter. My bigger one, it's a lot smoother. It doesn't get away from you as quick. But this one's really awesome. I mean, it's just got so much potential, so much power. And it's just a really good-looking helicopter. It's a little bit bigger than the Nano. I guess I mean, it's still a micro helicopter. I'm not sure if it's in a Nano class or not, but really awesome. Now, we're going to move on to my quads. Let's start with the smallest one. And this little guy is so tiny. I mean, here, let me hold it in my hand and you can see just how small. This is the Estus Proto X. Little tiny quad, great for indoors. I wouldn't recommend flying it outdoors unless there's absolutely no wind at all. Next is the Blade Nano QX quadcopter. It's a lot of fun, loads and loads and loads of fun, very durable. I've flown this thing a lot, and I've replaced a couple motors on it so far. The board's been good. I haven't had any issues with that. Just you got to remember when you crash or it flips upside down to chop that throttle, because if you keep throttle on it and the blades are against something where they can't spin, it'll burn the motors out. Apologize for that sore on my hand there. Anyway, awesome little quad. A lot of fun for indoors. I wouldn't recommend too much outdoor unless it's a really fair weather day. And next up on the block here is the Blade 180 QX. Now this little guy here is a lot of fun, super stable, very durable. I've crashed this thing really hard and nothing's broke on it. I mean, literally dropped out of the sky. I lost orientation one time and she flew away and wound up in a neighbor's backyard. I got it 3 weeks later, and that was video recording with it. She probably dropped a good 100 feet out of the sky, and I noticed the back blades had little kinks in them where they kind of got tweaked from the landing, but still flew. I got it back and it still flew great. Had a little bit of a drift issue. I recalibrated the accelerometer on this thing, and it flies, you know, not quite like it did out of the box, but it flies good. And I'm not sure if that's the reason why it doesn't fly quite as level, because it had a little drift, is because it got away and maybe had a radio signal that day I lost it. But anyway, I would highly recommend this if you're looking for a decent quad. It does come with a camera. It's a good little starter quad, but I wouldn't recommend flying it on a windy day. If you get a good wind gust, it'll just literally sweep it away from you, and it doesn't have enough power to bring it back. So just be aware of that. It's a fair weather quad. Tons of fun both indoors and outdoors, but like I said, if you go outdoors with it, make sure you don't have any wind gusts or anything going on. I do have a light kit for it, so I can fly it at night. It's pretty cool. Next on the block is the Blade 350 QX. What can I say about this? There's a lot of things I can say about this quad. Very powerful, very stable. The very next day after I bought it, and this is the newer generation one, by the way. It had the B props, which are supposed to be better, and I brought that to the hobby store's attention when I was about to buy it. I said, well, you know, I've seen videos on this thing, and the B props have broken. And he said, well, I've never had any come back. And lo and behold, the very next day after I bought it, number 4 engine B prop broke while in hover. I was coming in for a landing, stopped about 20 feet away from me, got it into a stable hover, and was about to begin my approach when the blade just disintegrated in flight. She flipped upside down and landed on a grassy knoll. Nothing broke. It was at that point I started researching the carbon fiber upgrade for the propellers, and then discovered, I found out that smallpartcnc.com makes the prop adapters. And on their website, they recommended these propellers for this prop adapter. They've already tested them out, and it's already it's got a 6mm shaft on the prop adapter. These carbon fiber propellers already have a 6mm hole, so they fit exactly. You don't have to do any reaming or, you know, hoping that you get it centered and all that stuff. So it bolts on. It's good to go. I have played around with rotating them a little bit and trying to get the propellers to track true and everything. I have an indicator that I run across the top here, and a lot of people talk about blade or propeller balancing, and that's a good thing. I don't have a balancer, but you're going to get a more violent, if you will, vibration if your props are, you know, that lead lag where they're one's cutting in the air a little higher and the other one's a little lower. It'll be you'll notice the vibration, you'll hear it. So it's okay to, you know, rotate these around until you get your quad smooth and quiet. I'm not going to do any flying in this portion of the video because I'm here in Colorado, and right now it's kind of lightly snowing and really cold outside, so we're not going to do any flight videos. But awesome quad. I've replaced the body on it because I did crash one time mildly. It was still flyable, but it cracked. The body on these bodies are made of a low density plastic, so they're not that strong. But I don't have to worry about it falling out of the sky. Those propellers are rock solid. Absolutely love this thing. It's a dream to fly. Super smooth. I only fly it in stability mode, and smart mode doesn't give me any thrill at all. It's just that's for really beginner pilots. Although I have flown it in agility mode, but I don't dare try to do any stunts or flips with it. I kind of want to keep it mellow. I don't fly it too aggressive. I like more of a fluid, you know, smooth turns. I'm not too aggressive with it. But it's loads and loads of fun. It has a great range on it and very easy to see. I prefer to fly it at night because the lights on it are just really cool. All right, one more. That's all my helicopters. And I got one more thing to show you here real quick. And this is the Park Zone Ultra Micro Spitfire. And I've only flown this a couple times, crashed it once, nothing serious. I mean, it's pretty lightweight. It's a fun little airplane. See, it had a little bit of damage here when I cracked the wing, but nothing a little tape won't take care of. A lot of fun, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm a rookie. I don't have a cameraman, so I got to do everything myself. But anyway, happy flying, and till next time, deuces wild, over and out.